know we've been looking at May and we've been cheerleading and hoping that Bitcoin would end the month up, because if it did end the month up, it would be like the first time in ever that Bitcoin has had 5 straight months in a row, but it's looking a little bit unlikely now. We are 7.2% down for the month of May. And that is, if you look at the bubbles today, if you look at Banter bubbles today, you can see that pretty much nearly every single bubble is done. And nearly every single one of the bubbles is red. And that is because we have Bitcoin coming down from 27,800, from 28,000 all the way back down to 27,161. And the reason for that is what we're going to be talking about today, because this could be the beginning of a phenomena, of a contagion that, as I mentioned a few days ago, may continue to drive markets down. And we've got to be quite aware of that. We're also going to look today at Asia. And remember, tomorrow is the first day that Hong Kong opens trade. So we're going to look at what that means and just quickly do a health check on what we can expect from China and from Hong Kong for tomorrow. We're also going to talk about the debt bill, because that is going to be voted on today. We're getting the debt bill vote happening sometime today. So we're going to talk about that. And we've got a leak for you from the Apple Developer Day, where they're launching their virtual reality, augmented reality glasses. That is happening on the 5th of June. We've got a bit of a leak for you. So listen, it's going to be a big show. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. All right, we're back. And you're back. We're all back. We're all back. So listen, first, James, I see that the wrong screen is it? All right, so we're all back. If you're new to the channel, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're back, well, welcome back. Subscribe to our channel if you're not already a subscriber. We got lots of alpha for you here today. I don't know if you guys watched the show yesterday, this one that we did yesterday, but it was amazing. It was really, 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 really amazing. And after the show, a friend of mine sent me this, and I want to show you this quickly. So hold on, not that friend. We're going to talk to that friend too. A friend of mine sent me this yesterday after the show, because he watched the show, and he said, you know, you really should be messing around with some of these AI tools. Because remember, yesterday we spoke about AI and all the different computing power that you're going to get. And we spoke about all the blockchains that we think are going to be the winning blockchains because of this AI revolution. That was based on NVIDIA hitting $1 trillion market cap. Anyway, after that, a friend of mine sends me this tweet. And in this tweet, he sends me a whole lot of protocols or a whole lot of AI tools that he wanted me to test that he thought would be good for Banter. So I went and I messed around with these tools. And I want to just show you how amazing this technology is. And I've literally only scraped the surface here. But I want you guys to see how amazing this is. So I took a little bit of Sheldon Sniper School, and I just thought, let me mess around here. Hold on, I want to just open this for you guys. So I just thought, let me mess around here. And let me just see what I can do using a very simple AI tool in exactly 3 minutes. Now just check this out.
Bien, francotiradores, ahora es el momento de aprender una de las cosas más poderosas que aprenderán en este mercado y entender que este mercado funciona 100% por la emoción. Ahora bien, si usted puede comenzar a detectar la emoción, usted comenzará a ver cuando ciertas personas comienzan a entrar en diferentes áreas. Ahora lo que separa a la gente de hacer dinero a perder dinero en este mercado es saber cuándo comprar y cuándo vender, y usted puede ejecutar esto puramente de la emoción. Así que si echas un vistazo a mi pantalla, quiero que descargues esto. Lo tendrás abajo en la descripción de este video. Ahora bien, esto es algo que se llama la hoja de trucos de Wall Street. Y lo que hace es imprimir.
I mean, how cool is that? I mean, am I the only one here that's excited about what I managed to do using AI in 3 minutes? And then I just thought I had this vision of like Banter in every single language almost immediately. So I tested it in Hebrew because, you know, I speak Hebrew. So I tested it in Hebrew. And I mean, it's uncanny how amazing this thing is.
אוקיי צלפים, עכשיו הגיע הזמן ללמוד את אחד הדברים החזקים ביותר שתלמדו בשוק הזה ולהבין שהשוק הזה מפעיל 100% הנחה על רגש. עכשיו אם אתה יכול להתחיל לזהות את הרגש, תתחיל לראות מתי אנשים מסוימים מתחילים להיכנס לאזורים שונים.
So for those of you who understand Hebrew or understand Spanish, you probably would have picked up just how good these translations actually are. And I mean, when I saw that, I just thought to myself, you know what? One thing is for sure. This AI thing is, there may be some hype in the AI thing, but I think the big difference between crypto and AI, and why the venture capitalists right now are much more bullish on AI, is because there's no bullshit with AI. There's no scams. There's no Ponzi's. It's just a bunch of tools that you can actually start using immediately and can start adding value to your businesses or protocols or whatever it is immediately. Just think that within about a week, we're going to have banter in Spanish, banter in Russian, banter in Korean, banter in every language, and we're going to be serving all those communities just by doing the show. We're going to have crypto school done in all these different languages. For crypto, that represents huge headwinds. Why? Because if you're thinking of VCs that are starting to invest money, effort, time, and resources, what you may see is that they may go to industries where the return is much quicker than having to fight as many regulators and as many Ponzi's and all these rules and regulations. So a little bit of an epiphany on AI. And by the way, if you are interested in all of this futuristic stuff, AI, blockchain, etc. So this is a bunch of my mates who have a metaverse. Okay, it's called the 𝗕𝗏𝗏𝗏, and they've got this metaverse. And in this metaverse, they're holding a series of discussions around with Peter Diamandis around all these futuristic things that happens from the 26th to the 30th of June. If you have any interest in this, let me just show you a little clip. James, if you could just play
I didn't get that. Could you try again?
So listen, if you want to join that, africarare.io/A360, go and check it out. You can sign up. I think it's like $99 or something to do it. Again, these are just friends of mine that I want to help. They are doing amazing things. So if you want to join them, join them. All right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. Let's go. Oh, what? 403 likes. Is that it? Seriously? It's a glitch. I mean, something's wrong with YouTube. Can we just refresh the YouTube page? Something's wrong here. It cannot be that we've only got 403 likes at this stage of the game. Anyway, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show. We are on the last day of May. This is where we're at the last day of May. We are 7.2% down. I was really hoping that we're going to get up there. And the other thing that I was really hoping was that David would win the ByBit trading competition. So, don't know if you guys are following. I did tweet this out earlier. But we had David, who, by the way, I met in Miami. This is the guy that I walked into the store, and I walked in and he said, Sniper School absolutely changed his life. I walked into the store. He told me he was the winner. We met him. We adopted him as part of the Banter family. And we saw that he was coming first in the trading competition. And there was the second guy who was coming second in the competition, and he was just behind him. And earlier on today, the second guy actually made a run for him. So he was down and he made a run for him, but he lost. So he was obviously long and the market went down and he lost. And the whole day he tried to claw back. But now the competition's finished. We have our winner. Our winner is right here with us. Dave, welcome, buddy. How you feeling? You just won a Tesla, bro. You just won a fucking Tesla.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. I'm like on 4 hours of sleep. It's funny. I woke up this morning to your message, and I was watching the guy last night, and I know you're probably watching that, so kudos to you. And the competition, hey, at least you got second place. But yeah, no, he was 1,200 down to 980. And
were you worried? Were you worried yesterday when you went to bed? Were you worried that he'd make a sneaky for you? Because he did a sneaky, because for days he hadn't traded. You were on 1,300, he was on 1,200. And for days, the guy didn't trade. And on the last day, last 24 hours, what he did was he fucking goes for you, bro.
Yeah, he did. And that was, you gave me that scenario that he could be waiting last minute to make a trade. And I was ready too. I've been watching the charts. I've got some trades open on 𝗪𝗫𝗫 right now and started them yesterday and they went. And I could have went more, I mean.
Did you want to take a trade? did you want to take another trade today just to be safe, or? And
yes,
what was your thinking?
I wanted to take another trade. You know, when I met you in Miami, I was like, man, that's why I kept going. Like, I felt like, because I think I got it all the way up to 1,500, and it should have been over 2,000 because I initially deposited 700. But yeah, I've been listening to the show, watching your guidance, and even for you, you were like, man, just hold fast. And I think the strategy worked. I was ready though. I had my alarm set. I've been watching some charts and was ready to make a move if I needed to. But
okay, hold on. If you were going to make a move, if you were going to make a move, what was your next move? What was your next? Well,
trade?
If you had to do one.
Yeah. So I've been talking with Dylan. Man, I'm really following Fetch. Actually, I opened up a Fetch long, and even Sheldon talked about it on the show at 26 cents.
That's Fetch.ai, right?
Yeah. I mean, that AI narrative, man, it's crazy, especially with you talking about this AI stuff on the show. And yesterday, it's kind of the discovery with that. And man, AI is going to take over. I'm following that narrative. I'm just trying to follow all the narratives that you guys are providing out there in the marketplace. And I love the show. I'm excited to see what you have to say today as well.
Amazing. Listen, buddy. Listen. First of all, much love. We've adopted you as part of the Banter fam now. So listen, much love. Congratulations. We'll obviously be speaking to you about how to get the Tesla. And on the weekend, I know you're dropping a podcast on Banter's channel about all the stuff you learned in Sniper School. Guys, if you do want to join Sniper School, before David joined Sniper School, he used to get wrecked. After he joined Sniper School, the guys just won the trading competition. He's turned $400 in his Mexi account into... What's the number today?
Well, I've been diversifying and stuff. It's over 200 now.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
I took the graph trade. I mean, look, I followed the chart. Like, I went on Discord, like, saw the charts. Graph looks awesome. I opened the graph trade yesterday.
The guy's telling you there's a link to our Discord. There's a link to our Discord below. Sign up to Discord. It's bloody free. There's a link to Sniper School below. Sign up. It's free. This is it. The guy's turned $400 into $200,000 and won the trading competition. And this is a guy that used to get wrecked before Sniper School. Listen, Dave, sending you much love. We got to get on with the alpha. We'll get hold of you and we'll let you know how we're going to get the Tesla to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Alrighty, that is absolutely amazing. I'm so happy that one of us has now got the Tesla. I got wrecked. Doesn't matter. I'll do better next time. I promise I'll do better next time. All right, let's look at the charts that we're actually looking at. So, charts that I'm looking at today, I'm looking at Bitcoin. First of all, I'm looking at the bubbles. I see that everything's down when it comes to bubbles. In fact, maybe there's 2 or 3 tokens that are now up. Then I'm looking at the Bitcoin chart. We were at 28,000. We came down to 27,000. I'm going to show you why in a couple of seconds. There is another chart that I'm looking at, and that's the ETH BTC chart, because on the downward move, what we're seeing is the Ethereum chart very close to a breakout. Now, I've been discussing with my team whether this thing has broken out. I think maybe it has broken out. Now, if you zoom in here, you can kind of see that there is actually a breakout. Let's see if this breakout actually holds, because this breakout here also happened. So let's see if this breakout actually holds. And then let's make a decision as to whether this is the beginning of something bigger for ETH or whether this is the beginning for something bigger when it comes to altcoins. All right, let's go back to Bitcoin and just talk about what actually happened here. We were doing well. We were going to finish May like 2% down or something like that. We were at about 28,000. And then what happened was we got some numbers out of Asia. So what happened was we got a huge sell order at Coinbase, about $400 million of tokens sold off Coinbase. And then what we got is we got Hang Seng or Asia starting to go down. So the Chinese markets and the Hong Kong markets started to go down, and you can see the move right over here. This is the move in Hang Seng. And the reason why this happened was because of the manufacturing data in China. What happened in China was that the manufacturing PMI data, which shows how much they're manufacturing, actually went down. And it went down surprisingly, and the market doesn't really like surprises. What this data shows is that there is actually a big economic slowdown in China. And not only in China, but actually in the whole world. And what it was showing is that the manufacturing index came down unexpectedly. PMI shows economics recovery is losing steam. Markets skid on PMI weakness. That's exactly what happened. The official manufacturing purchasing managers index fell to a 5-month low, 48.8. That is the data coming out of China. I did hear this, and it takes us to a worldwide discussion. So let's quickly just go listen to it.
How bad was this data, Eric?
Yeah, I think overall picture not good. As I just said, manufacturing PMI is the weakest since December, right? So it's decelerating. That's clearly showing the demand was very weak for the manufactured goods. I think both domestically and externally, right? The global economy is slowing down, and also China's recovery has been largely focusing on the services sector. You know, the quite narrowly focused. And if you look at non-manufacturing PMI, it's still decelerating, even considering, you know, we have a Labor Day holiday in May, right? That's not even boosting.
So manufacturing is down in China, and that is what caused the markets to go down. And that is what we think caused this Bitcoin pump. We did see a big seller though on Coinbase. Yesterday saw almost $400 million Bitcoin sold, the 5th largest amount this year, primarily coming from Coinbase. We also, as what this tweet says, you also have the DXY getting stronger. And we'll talk about why the DXY is getting stronger in a sec. This DXY is now back at 104.35, and we'll talk about why that is so relevant in a few secs. So this manufacturing slowdown is also reflected, and probably would have been sooner reflected if we were watching the price of Brent crude oil. So if you look at crude oil is usually an indicator of economic activity in the world, or what future economic activity in the world is going to look like. That's how people buy crude oil. They almost say, hold on a second, what is the price of crude oil going to be? That is representative of how strong economies are going to be. Now, if you look at what's happened to the price of crude oil, even if you look from November when it was around $100, we're now back at $73 for the price of crude oil, which means that people are saying that they're very, 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 very scared of what the future holds for the US economy, which is probably the biggest consumer out there. The US economy, the Chinese economy, people aren't very bullish. And so what happened is when the US went to bed last night, everything felt fine. And when they woke up this morning, Bitcoin was $1,000 cheaper. And that maybe shows us something that's happening that we need to be paying attention to. Because for the past 3 Bitcoin highs and lows, they were set in Asia. And the most price volatility is actually starting to happen in Asia. Now, that's not a big surprise if you've been following our shows, because what we are realizing is that more and more the trade is moving out of the United States and out of the West and moving towards Asia as the US struggles with crypto regulation. As the US keeps tightening crypto regulation, we now get Asia becoming more and more important. And so I started digging up some data. And the first bit of data that I found is I found this spot exchange volume. I got this from Invest Answers from James. And he showed this spot exchange volume Asia versus the rest of the world. And so I asked our analysts to make me a chart to show me the difference between the importance of Asia 1 year ago versus the importance of Asia today. And the reason why I want to talk about this today is because you know that tomorrow applications open in Hong Kong. It's the 1st of June tomorrow. Applications open in Hong Kong to start registering to become registered cryptocurrency providers. So here's what the data shows. If we look at exchange volume 1 year ago, 64% of exchange volume happened in Asia, and 27.2% happened in the United States. 8% happened in South America. In South America, and Europe was 0.8%. Now I take the same chart and I fast forward 1 year later. 82.5% of central exchange volume, spot volume today, centralized spot volume today, is coming from Asia. Europe has grown from 0.8 to 4.1, and North America has declined from 27.2 to 10.3%. That just shows you how bad the market is in the United States. You know, we talk about Operation Choke Point, and we talk about this regulatory clarity. We talk about all of that. And now what we're seeing is we're actually seeing it in the numbers. When you compare it in a long period of numbers, which is what I've done now, is taking a 12-month view, and I've compared a 12-month view, I think you'll agree with me that this is shocking statistics. When Asia goes from 64% to 82%, and that comes at the expense of the US that goes from 27% to 10.3%, this is something that is really, really, really concerning for the United States. And I'll show you that in a sec. Also, if you look at the potential rate of growth in Asia, and this is a chart of revenue in cryptocurrency market, what it's going to look like. That's what the Asia growth is projected to look like. So this is where we're at on the eve of what is supposed to be the day that Hong Kong opens up applications for its crypto trading program, or for retail investors to be able to buy crypto. Now, I want to actually call a spade here. Everyone has this narrative, or has created this narrative, that Hong Kong is potentially a testing ground for the rest of China. And that may be true, but we've got to note that that is a narrative that has been created by people in the West. And we don't know how things operate in China. Also, there are a whole lot of tokens that we and others have shown you that keep moving every time that there is good news from China. And these tokens theoretically actually shouldn't be moving. And the reason why they shouldn't be moving is because these are the only tokens that you will be allowed to trade in Hong Kong when the applications actually open. So remember that tomorrow is not the day that the trading actually opens. Tomorrow is just the day that the applications open for the companies that would like licenses to be able to trade. And the only tokens that they can trade is these coins. So I'm not expecting any great shakes. I'm not expecting any huge moves tomorrow morning. I'm not expecting any huge moves tomorrow morning because all of a sudden Hong Kong has opened up and now Asia is all in on crypto. And if anybody does tell you that, you got to be smarter than that, and you got to counter trade that narrative, because it's a bullshit narrative that has been going around crypto. Anyway, be that as it may, what we're getting Brian Armstrong fully utilizing the opportunity to come out and petition, or to campaign around the weaknesses of the United States. And what he's saying it's important that policymakers see the big picture with crypto. It's important that America maintain its technological leadership and national security, that this industry be built in the United States. So he's using this opportunity to come out. And someone actually read his article, or his tweet, and he says, did you know that China could benefit from the most from the US's restrictive crypto policy? In fact, we can see that Asia is already doing that. Look at this chart again, 64% to 82.5%. Now, why? He says, Armstrong argues that recent turbulence in the crypto market should not lead us to underestimate its potential. He warns that dismissing crypto as an unstable asset class could result in the US losing its financial leadership and innovation hub status. He says crypto is not just about transaction, it's transformative technology that can revolutionize multiple sectors. Armstrong highlights its ability to modernize finance supply chains, social media, and more, offering a much faster, much cheaper platform. Coinbase, a major exchange, has been urging US policymakers to provide regulatory clarity. Armstrong points out that Hong Kong is positioning itself as a global crypto hub, with China challenging the US's role as a global financial leader. And this is a very, very, very interesting take. Armstrong says the consequences of inaction are dire. Armstrong warns the US would need a colossal and sustained effort to regain its innovative edge, potentially costing billions. But even then, it may be too late. This is what I wanted to talk to you about around China and Hong Kong. And I actually got this narrative from my good friend Elio, who published a video around this. And I really liked the beginning of this video. It's really, really, really food for thought. So let me play this for you, and you can watch the whole video on his channel. But just listen to what he says. He has got a great spin here.
When I was in high school, I had a math teacher who used to work for the government with a high-level security clearance. He told us that there was a rule when it comes to national security. And this dates back to the Cold War, which is funny because it's almost like we're in a new Cold War today. But the rule is very simple. If your enemies are working on a technology that could be used against you, well, then you absolutely must work on it. Even if you don't believe in that technology yourself, if they are doing it, you must do it. And that rule is most certainly one that is still active today. And this is where we...
So that's exactly it. If your enemies, it almost feels like it's becoming a war between the US and China and the US and China may be saying, maybe saying, hold on a second, US, if you're not going to take this technology, we're going to take this technology. We're going to take this technology. But I don't think it's going to be smooth sailing. I'm going to be honest. I don't think it's going to be smooth sailing in China, because China does have a really bad track record of being schizophrenic when it comes to cryptocurrencies, not when it comes to blockchain. And this is a very big differentiator. China has very, very, very strict capital controls. It doesn't like money leaving the Chinese country. It also has very, very, very big surveillance. And it wants to know where everyone's money is all the time. And of course, blockchain takes that power away from them, which is why they've got a very schizophrenic history when it comes to crypto. And you can see that we know that they banned mining and then they got back into mining. And you can see the chart here. They banned mining. The hash rate in China went all the way down to pretty much zero. Now, China is actually 20% of the hash rate. So they are schizophrenic when it comes to cryptocurrencies. But where they are not schizophrenic, and they've never been schizophrenic, is actually blockchain technology. So when we compare the currencies themselves, China used to be the biggest currency trader, the biggest impact on the markets, the biggest market mover. And then they banned trading of cryptocurrencies, and the official numbers look like this, even though we know that the unofficial numbers are much higher. But when it comes to actual blockchain technology, this is the size of the Chinese market and how much the Chinese market has grown in terms of main blockchain applications in China. So as I say, I don't believe that it's going to be a smooth process, and we can already see that China has been on the eve of this, actually clamping down. So they according to a news outlet in China, the offshore CNY stablecoin and the HKD stablecoin issue trust reserve team were taken away by the Chinese police for investigations. The office has been seized. Now, we don't know if this is true, and we don't know anything that comes out of China is true. But what we do know is that it's not going to be smooth sailing in China, and we do know that they're very much pro-blockchain but anti-cryptocurrency. So that's what we need to keep our eyes open. And it's not only China. We talk about Asia. We know Korea is very, very important. We showed you the other day that Japan, super, super, super important. In fact, maybe even right now, more important than China is Japan, and Japan is increasing liquidity, and their Nikkei. Let's actually quickly look at the Japanese Nikkei, because the other day when we looked at it, it was flying. Let's quickly look at it. Nikkei 225 daily, here it is. We are okay. We're a little bit down from the highs, but nonetheless, a good performance by the Nikkei. We need to keep watching this, because the higher the Japanese markets go, the higher the liquidity, the more trade comes from Asia, the more Bitcoin goes up. We showed you that actually that is the most important market when it actually comes to the crypto. All right, so that is Asia. Let's move it back to the United States, because that's where 40% of you are, 35% of you are. Let's move it back to the United States, where we have the debt ceiling vote. So now remember that there's an agreement between the Democrats and the Republicans, but now the vote has to happen. And they want to try and pass the vote today. So they want to try and pass the vote today. It looks to me like they're running out of money. It's not a great place to be. The treasury cash balance was at 38.8 billion, which is like, it sounds like a lot of money, but it's actually like really, 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 really low. And then, I mean, I don't know, somehow they got money yesterday. Maybe they begged and borrowed. I don't know where they got money from, but it's not looking very good. There are a lot of skeptics about whether this vote will actually pass. I think that it's a no-brainer. There was an interview with Patrick McHenry earlier today. Let's quickly listen to it.
Look, it's the House of Representatives. Nothing's a done deal until the vote's closed, and the vote will be this evening. So today will be a long, grinding day. And nice to start with you and Joe this morning.
That's the best place.
It's going to be
that's the best place. The important people are watching.
Well, exactly. I wanted to be in the right place to start my day, but. It's going to be a long day, but I think the votes are there on both sides. Democrats will produce some votes, and in the nature of a deal like this, both parties have to produce votes. But Republicans will carry the lion's share of the votes today in the House of Representatives, as we should. then it'll go to the Senate, and likewise, they'll have a similarly divided vote.
So look, I think the vote's going to pass because they don't want to default, and I think they're getting really, really, really close to defaulting. Like, I think now it's like, you know, when you play a game of chicken, but it's there, like it's really, really, really there. I did hear what Patrick McHenry said about how close they were to like the end of the road here.
Look, it's the House of Representatives. Nothing's a done deal until the vote's closed. And the vote will be this evening.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on, fault.
Well, and look, going past that X date, Secretary Yellen updated the numbers. June 5th is the new X date. I believe her. I think she speaks the truth here on when we have to raise the debt ceiling by. And having updated that number in the midst of our negotiations, it says that she believes that this is a really challenging time for cash management in the government. So I don't think we don't want to play footsie with this. This is close enough for the likes of most of us.
So it's close enough. They're running out of money. They've got to do this. Let's keep an eye on it. It's going to happen today. If anything happens, just keep watching my Twitter. I'll update you on my Twitter. I also have been watching this, speaking of macro, I have been watching this chart. I mean, 70% chance of getting a 25 base. Oh, now 56% chance. I mean, before the show, it was a 70% chance of a 50 basis point rate hike. I mean, it's so sad that my life is coming down, that this is the most exhilarating chart in my life, because this chart is like, doesn't move. Anyway, let's carry on. We've got lots to talk about today. I want to talk to you about the meme coin bubble. And I've been talking about this meme coin bubble for a long time. And I've been very much against meme coins. And I've said that the reason why I'm against meme coins is because this meme coin cycle is not bringing new money into the market. Told you that we analyzed over 400 wallets that were holding 𝗕𝗚. And what we saw was that these were not new people that were coming into meme coins. In fact, if you analyze the wallets that were betting on meme coins, and that's no other way to put it, gambling on meme coins, what we realized was that the majority of these people had been here for over 400 days, which means they were here before the lunar collapse. Not only that, a lot of them had held NFTs. And so it's almost like the guys that lost money on NFTs kind of took their last money and said, I'm going to put it all on these meme coins, and I'm going to try and make all the money back on this hope and a prayer that somebody else will buy it with me lower. Now, it's almost like we need to get back to real business. We can't be distracted. We can't have our revolution and this technology be focused on trading coins that knowingly are worth nothing. And specifically, if they're not bringing new money into crypto. When the Dogecoin gang and the Shiba gang brought in new money into crypto, then I was kind of open to it. But now that they're just launching ERC20 tokens on Ethereum with absolutely no use case, and that is draining liquidity from the real cryptocurrency movement, which we are supposed to be doing, I think that it's not only a distraction for us, but it's actually a negative distraction, because it's a distraction that actually paints the entire industry in a bad light. And I tweeted and I said, look, I think that this dump is going to keep getting brutal, and it's going to get more brutal until such time as it flushes out the end of meme coin season. Because that for me is significant of the froth in the market. When our time, effort, and attention and our networks are clogged up by meme coins, there is a problem. And so when I start looking at this and I look at this chart, I'm quite happy that the froth has moved out of the market. The froth has moved completely out of the market. You can see that if you look at the volume of all the meme coins, look at the volumes. The volumes are going back down to pretty much close to zero. And it's a good thing, because what it's done is it started to bring the ETH gas fees, which is, by the way, this black line over here. It started to bring the ETH gas fees back down to normality. So the network becomes more usable for real business. And so we're not going to be distracted by what I think is this absolutely garbage, wasteful movement that is shedding a bad light on the whole of crypto. The regulators must be watching this and thinking, you guys are such a bunch of clowns. Like, you want us to regulate this technology, and you want us to take you seriously. And right now, the biggest use case for your technology is people trading coins that they know are worth garbage. They're worth nothing. It's like people saying, guys, what have we come with? What have we come to? We are speculating on coins that admittedly do nothing and have no use case. We've now even gone one step further. I don't know if you saw this, but this guy, Paulie, says send ETH here, gives an address, and it says you get nothing. You get nothing. Now you'd think that you get nothing means you send nothing. But that's not what happened. The guy's got, let's refresh this, but $1.2 million, $1.13 million was sent to his wallet in return for nothing. Literally. It's ludicrous that this is what we've come to. It's ludicrous that this is what this industry's come to. You got a guy like Ben.ETH who's managed to take the entire crypto industry on a roller coaster ride, up, down, up, down, up, down. And if you look at his wallet, this guy has raised $20 million. Look, here, let me move it up so it's above my head. $20 million. Yeah. For those of you who can't see it, let's change the view slightly. $20 million. Isn't that what this industry was made for? I mean, I see the value in meme coins. I saw the value in Doge. I see the value in Shiba. I see the value in community. But I think that this movement, the sooner it ends, the better. And I'm glad to see that the volumes are going down. And if it means that the price of Bitcoin needs to go down a little bit more to flush out all this bullshit so that we can get back to real business, so that we can get back to focusing on building technology that's actually really going to change the world, the sooner that happens for me, the better. And why I'm saying this to you is because I think it's going to happen pretty soon. And I think that if you are holding meme coins, that's your sign to possibly start getting out. I mean, one guy sent this guy $13,000. Can you believe it? $13,000 was sent to this you get nothing wallet. $13,000 was sent to the you get nothing wallet. Anyway, let's go on to the next story. Enough ranting for one day. As I said to you, we have Apple Developer Day. Now I'm trying to crack an invite to get to the Apple Developer Day and fly there on the 5th of June. But in the meantime, as always, we do get leaks, and we have had some leaks about the Apple headset. Now, a lot of the stuff is very, very, very technical, but what they are talking, the code words that they're saying now is Code New Worlds. The Code New Worlds tagline, which Apple hadn't used until today, is a clear hint at the debut of its first software platform since the Apple Watch in 2014. And it's for lack of a better word, they're not calling it a metaverse, they're calling it a mixed reality headset, but it's like their version of the metaverse. The specs were also released. Over here, they talk about the software that you're going to be using, and they talk about the actual specs of the technology. Micro OLED screen technology, 1.41 inch display, 1.41 inch, nothing. 4,000 pixels per inch, and more than 5,000 nits of brightness. I don't know if that means anything to you. It means nothing to me. But I mean, I guess we'll wait until the 5th of June. We'll watch our tokens on the 5th of June. Maybe a little gaming and metaverse run. I don't know. All depends on how quickly we can shake out the meme coin garbage froth that is destroying our industry. Okay, I said I'd stop now. I want to talk 1 second about liquidity. Now, we know that liquidity has come down in the cryptocurrency market, and we all complain that there's no liquidity in the cryptocurrency market. And no liquidity is a good thing and a bad thing, because no liquidity means prices can go up much quicker and prices can go down much quicker. So remember that there are opportunities that can come out of no liquidity. For example, your favorite token may only actually move up because there is no liquidity. And if there was liquidity, then it would have gone down. Now, we know that the crypto market is actually currently at its almost like its lowest liquidity that we've had in a long, long, long time. So I went and looked at liquidity, and then I found some things that actually show, hold on a second, low liquidity can actually be your friend. And I want to show you 1 or 2 examples just to show you how there are opportunities everywhere. So someone said, Paddy the Pirate, we actually like this guy. We want to try to get him onto our research group. Which, by the way, do you have the research ad by any chance, James? Yeah. If you are, so let's just take a second here and say, if you are absolutely obsessed with crypto and you are on Twitter and on Discord and you're always looking for gems, we are looking for researchers that are going to join us either on a volunteer basis or a part-time basis or a full-time basis. We're looking for researchers of all levels, okay? So what we want from you to send just go back there so I can see the screen. So research.recruits@cryptobanter.com. You need to send us an example of what you've done in the past or really detail why you should be selected. And really only do this if you really have experience, because we do get a lot of applications. We want to make sure that we can get through each one of them. Anyway, let's go back to it. So what I saw with this Paddy the Pirate is he says, look, you're better off farming on Sol than on ETH. The data suggests your capital is 3 times more efficient when farming on Sol. So we dug into this a little bit and realized that the total value locked on the Solana DeFi ecosystem has actually really, really, really dropped because, this was the height of Solana summer and now there's no real total value locked in Solana. But if you're smart, you can get actually huge returns on the yield farming in Solana. And the reason why you can get this is because there's no liquidity. So yes, net, no liquidity is a real bad thing, but don't write it off and say, hey, just because there's no liquidity, you can't make money. If you're smart, you may actually be able to use the no liquidity to your benefit and actually go and capitalize on the crazy APRs and APYs that you can get because there's no liquidity. Makes sense, right? Someone says to the moon. Well, yeah, almost to the moon. PulseX, I don't know if you guys have been following. If you do have banter bubbles, if you don't have banter bubbles, you need to have banter bubbles because it really does tell you why everything's happening. The idea is you wake up in the morning, you see that the bubble is down, and then you click on it and you go and look at why the price has moved up or has moved down. Now, what I found earlier in the banter bubbles is the reason why Pulse has gone down and PulseX have gone down and this whole ecosystem has gone down is I found this tweet here. It says, it appears PulseX buy and burn gets all the fees, leaving none for the LP. The same code has been in use for years on testnet. No one noticed, including the LPs. The fix that leaves the fees for the LPs is on the right below. And basically they're saying that all the Pulse chain fees basically have been burnt and none of them have actually been paid to the LP. So they're going to fix that. Another thing which I saw is I asked our researchers today, when was the last time that we actually got a real token pump? Like when was the last time that you other than Pepe, when was the last time that you invested in a token and you got that feeling, you know what I'm talking about, like that one of like, fuck, I did it. Like, wow, my token's running. Like just think about it. When was the last time that you did that? It's ages ago because we haven't had like altcoin runs for a long time. And I asked the research team today, I said, which token has had a run? And they all said, well, Injective has had a run. A little bit more digging into Injective. You can see that there is a massive ecosystem actually building on Injective. And so it looks like, by the way, I was a very, very, very early stage investor in Injective. I invested in the ICO in 2017. And you can see that it has been one of the tokens that's really, really, really performed this year. So if you go like to January, it was at $1. It's trading at $7. So I don't know, worth keeping an eye out for it. Or an eye on it. They have a massive ecosystem, as you can see. The other one that I'm keeping an eye on, look, I'm not going to win any popularity contests here. I know that. But I have been telling you that I'm watching the Flex token, so CoinFlex. Why? It's Suzu and Carl's exchange. And it is up again 20%. And the reason why it's up again is because, while the market says that they're not going to support Carl and Suzu and whatever else. Net, if you just follow the exchanges, every week the volumes go up. Week 7 was 11 million. Week 9 was 14 million. The week before was 5 million. It's one of those things where, you know what? Just over time, they just keep growing and growing and growing. And so I'm keeping an eye open it. And I'm actually quite a big holder of that token. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just telling you I am watching it. I think you guys need to be watching it too. All right, before we go, just a few announcements. First of all, as you know, today is a very, very, very big day for Banter. We have partnered up with Mario Norful. We've partnered up with 𝗧𝗪𝗏. And from today, every day, straight after my show, at 1:15, we're going to be live on Twitter Spaces every single day, starting from today. There is a link below. In fact, can we make that link the top link? It is our Twitter Spaces link. go and join that Twitter Spaces today. So we're going to be talking every single day for at least 2 hours after the show, live crypto streaming in partnership with Mario Norful and 𝗧𝗪𝗜𝗏. I'm so excited to do this. Come and join us. There's a link below. Go. I'm going to wait for you on the Twitter Spaces. Did get this, by the way, just came in now. Binance potentially starting off some layoffs. Shows that the recession and in crypto is kind of hitting everyone. I do also just want to remind you guys that, you know, these are good friends of mine. I think I showed you their oh man, I think I closed it. Hold on, let me quickly open it. Hold on a second. Here we go. So if you do, hold on a second. There we go. So if you are interested in all this AI futuristic stuff, go and support them. They're great bunch of guys. africarare.io/A360. I think you pay $99 and you actually meet up in the metaverse with these like real titans of industry. And you explore all these exponential technologies and everything else. Yeah, I think it's go. I think it's not. Is it $99? I think it's up to $399. Go check it out. I don't have all the details, but go and check it out. I think it's. I mean, after what I learned yesterday, spending half an hour on AI, I think if you're not in this industry, if you're not doing as much as you can to progress yourself, you're missing out on a lot of opportunities. I mean, I just showed you that spending half an hour on AI, I potentially globalized this entire business. And that was just one application. I spent probably 2-3 hours on AI last night, just learning about how I can make our business better and how we can bring the Banter family to the world. And I think just from that, we'll have a school in Russian, a school in Spanish, a school in Hebrew, and I mean, Korean, Mandarin. We'll be able to bring crypto love and crypto wisdom to anyone in the world, wherever they are. Anyway, listen, guys, I'm going to go and get ready for my Twitter Spaces. Link is below. I shall see you guys again tomorrow. Same time, same place. Until then, trade well, my friends.